In this lab demonstration video, we'll use intelligent provisioning on a ProLiant BL460 Gen 9 to install an operating system, and in this case VMware ESXi 6.5. So we've already booted up our ProLiant server blade. We pressed F10 during the startup process, and that brings us to the intelligent provisioning screen, which is now shown here. So to deploy an operating system, we'll select the Configure and Install option. The first screen that you're presented with is to select any optional hardware settings. This is if you needed to change the array configuration, the target controller to deploy the logical drive to or the operating system to, if we need to perform any updates as part of the process. This is the screen where we can do that. For the demonstration, we'll just select the defaults and then click Continue. And then we're presented with the Select Operating System screen. So we're going to deploy a VMware ESXi image. We're going to use the custom HPE image, so we'll still make sure that says custom image there in the drop-down menu. And then we're going to attach that image as a virtual drive. So we have the ISO file on the desktop of the server that we're using through ILO here. So we'll select 6.5 Update 1. This will be the operating system that we use. We're using ILO Virtual Media, so that falls under a physical DVD, is how it will be presented to our target server here. And then again, we'll click Continue. Intelligent Provisioning will then go out and look at this ISO image, see that it is, ensure that it's the image that we selected. We told it was going to be a VMware image, and so it verifies that it is a VMware image. After the deployment, the default password will be set to password. We'll just verify these settings, click Continue, and now Intelligent Provisioning will use that ISO as well as the additional drivers and other pieces of software that are on the ILO chip and go out and deploy this VMware image on our local disks. So we'll give this a few minutes to complete and then come back and configure our VMware server. So now Intelligent Provisioning has successfully installed VMware. We have 6.5 running on our server blade, and within VMware we can press the F2 key to customize the system, change the password, set the static IP address, things like that. We need to log in. Again, the default password when using the HP custom image is just password for the root account, so we can configure that if we need to. We configure the management network, we can change the IP address or set the IP address, as well as set a VLAN, whatever the other options you need to configure. So we'll change the IPv4 configuration, just the regular IP address, and we'll use a static IP address here. So in our environment in the remote lab, we need 172.16.50.51 with /24, so 3 255s, and then 50.1 is our gateway. Press enter to save that. Press escape on this screen to go back. Then we'll be prompted to save. We'll hit Y for yes. We'll press escape one more time just to go back to the main screen. And we'll see that the static IP address has been set 172.16.50.51. We'll swap over to Internet Explorer. In our case, we have DNS configured already for that IP address. So we'll navigate to that in a web browser. Then when the logon screen loads, the username is the same as in front of the console there. So root for the username, password for the password, and we'll be able to log in directly to the ESXi host. And now because this is running 6.5, it uses a web interface to manage the host itself instead of the old .NET client. If you're used to earlier versions of ESXi, we'd have a a locally installed client, but that's been moved now to the web interface. So we'll click OK on our introductory window there, and now you'll see we have ESX 6.5 Update 1 running on our server blade. So that concludes this lab demonstration of deploying VMware ESXi with intelligent provisioning. Be sure to watch the other videos in this playlist as they pertain to the Building Server Solutions ATP course.